Over the years, a number of individual school districts and even entire states have implemented a system that requires its high school students to choose from one of several career clusters offered by the school. These career clusters include different educational disciplines such as health sciences, fine and performing arts, engineering and technology, etc. To receive their diploma, students have to complete typically between 3 to 6 elective classes for this cluster, depending on the program, in addition to the standardized graduation requirements by the Department of Education. Having attended a high school with no such program in place, I can say that I genuinely believe I would have been better off had I done so. After explaining the benefits of these programs, it will become clear how they not only help the nation's youth, but the American economy as a whole. I believe career clusters in some form should be a mandatory part of America's public school system due to the significant advantages they offer students and the economy, as well as the balance they offer between a well-rounded, generalized education and a specified career-oriented one. Career clusters offer several significant advantages for high school students. They serve as a way to decrease the high school dropout rate by helping students maintain an interest in their studies. Per Rebecca Robertson's article in the 2000 September edition of Techniques Connecting Education and Careers, when the Department of Education sponsored a conference in 2000 to address the issue of students dropping out of school due to boredom and the inability to connect classes with future careers, their solution was to develop 2 programs implementing career clusters. They believed career clusters would help students see an importance in their education. Proof that this concept is indeed true can be found within the state of Florida. Per the Department of Education's archived records by the state, Florida had a graduation rate of 72% in the year of 2007. During this year, they decided to implement career clusters, and just 4 years later, the graduation rate had increased by a shocking 10%. Attending a high school with career clusters also prepares students for what comes after graduation. Most students attend community or traditional college upon graduating, and attending a high school with career clusters increases their chances of getting accepted into these schools. In the 2007 August edition, writer for the New York Times, Winnie Hugh, reported, district officials said that they are establishing the majors because college admissions officers have said over years that they favor students with expertise in particular areas because it demonstrates commitment and passion. Career clusters prove advantageous for students upon entering college as well as for acceptance to it. Students who seek a degree in the same area as their career cluster in high school will have a higher knowledge base of the subject than those who did not, giving them an advantage in competitive college placements. However, a large portion of high school students choose not to seek secondary education after graduation. Career cluster programs still offer significant advantages for these students as well. According to reporter and senior web editor for Governing Magazine, Carolyn Conyer, in some programs, certain clusters, such as nursing and automotives, allow students who complete the program to walk away from high school with an official trade certification. Having such a certification eliminates the need for additional training and provides a sizable advantage when applying to positions in the field. Even students who do not receive an official trade certification are more likely to be hired by potential employers due to the work-based experience that they gain in high school, which typical high school students do not have. Career cluster programs not only prove advantageous for students who participate in them, but also for the nation as a whole. There's a sizable gap in the number of jobs available in a particular career field and the number of qualified candidates to fill these positions. Conyer states that many state officials believe that career clusters may be a way to close this gap. States can choose to emphasize clusters that most benefit its specific economical needs. By providing training in these areas, the state will provide potential employees with higher qualifications for the job positions that they seek to have filled. This emphasis can also benefit students by providing information on local careers with the greatest amount of economical demand, helping them secure future employment. Several states are facing the same easily resolvable 2-part problem. The demand for vocationally trained high school graduates is not being met, and there exists a surplus of students entering high school who wish to become vocationally trained but cannot do so because there is not enough resources provided by the states. This problem is especially predominant in the state of Massachusetts, where a 2016 study by multiple departments within Northeastern University shows that upwards of 3,000 high schoolers in Massachusetts alone were placed on wait lists for public schools providing career clusters in the year of 2015. The obvious solution to this problem is to provide more schools with cluster programs by requiring these programs statewide. In doing so, the state gains a higher volume of skilled workers, ultimately improving its own economy. Career cluster programs rest in the middle ground of zero and extensive vocational training for high school students. Naturally, there will be critics who say that these programs go too far, and others still who say they do not go far enough. Looking at the difference in credit requirements for high school graduation for a traditional 21.5 credit system like we have in place in Minnesota, and the newer 24 credit system like they put in place in Florida, can help prove why these cluster programs are the best middle option. So here's the credit breakdown for both of these states. And as you can see, the only thing being lost by including these career cluster classes is this 0.5 of social studies credits. So, in including the training, we're not losing any of the traditional areas of studies in high school, so you're still getting that same well-rounded education. Note also, though, that an additional 2.5 credits has been added to the load, and we are losing that half of a credit of social sciences. This means that any further vocational training added to high school is not really suitable because you're taking away from these traditional areas of study that are already in place, resulting in a less rounded education for high school students. To summarize, the implementation of career cluster programs in American high schools would significantly improve the quality of education received by their students. These programs offer several significant advantages for both the individual students who participate in them and for the nation as a whole. They maintain a necessary balance between a well-rounded, generalized education and a specified career-oriented one. Several states have already taken the lead in requiring career clusters for high school graduation. Hopefully, given time, the rest will have followed their example. Thank you.